Bowman here from BWOne.com. I'm going to give you my review of the Nexus 7. The Nexus 7 is the Google branded tablet directly from Google running Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, and it's made by Asus. So let's get started here. Let's first talk about sort of the hardware here and really the quality, the build quality of the Nexus 7. It's one of the better built tablets you're going to find out there. It's more in sort of a portrait style, so it's more to be held sort of like how you have an e-reader, which a lot of people come from e-readers are probably going to be used to holding. And it's sturdy and it's thin. It's not the thinnest tablet out there, but it's thin enough and it's pretty light. And it does feel real comfortable, especially with the sort of the soft back covering that they have here. So it really does feel comfortable in the hand. And that's pretty much mostly the most important things you're really going to be concerned about when using a tablet. Does it feel really good in the hand? The next thing is going to be about its performance. How well does it actually work? And does it work well? When does it react? Does it react well when you're responsiveness and stuff like that? And I have to say that definitely does. It does come with an Nvidia Tegra 3 quad-core processor inside of here, so you're really going to get some really fast speed, and it's running Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, which has a new sort of Project Butter sort of animations and stuff like that. It's supposed to make things run a lot smoother and a lot cleaner, and you definitely notice that inside when you're using the operating system on here. Now, the Android 4.1 Jelly Bean is a little bit more sort of like a phone operating system. It's sort of set up like a phone. It isn't really set up like a tablet like previous Android tablets, which I think actually lends to the better usability of here. So it makes it a little bit more familiar when you're coming from a phone to using a tablet. Android phone to an Android tablet, especially using an ice cream sandwich phone before, to this, it's going to be a little more familiar to you. And I think that's one of the advantages sort of the iPad has with its interface, since it's a tablet, but it doesn't stray too far off from the way the iPhone looks. So it's just some familiarity there, and it definitely kind of lends itself to here with Android 4.1 and the way it's sort of formatted on here. Now you do get the advantages of Android 4.1, which does have the new sort of revamped notification section, so you'll be able to swipe your stuff left and right. You usually can. You actually get some expanded information and certain things with like email and stuff. Be able to see little snippets of the email as it goes along as well too, and just overall a bit nicer in terms of that. Also, you'll be able to get a new thing called Google Now, which is pretty cool. Now, Google Now, you just got to swipe up to pretty much activate. Now, with that, it's not so much that it's a Siri clone or anything like that, like a lot of people are going to probably say. It's more or less sort of a way of bringing all the information that you search for and that you do on your Google account, and sort of bringing it to the forefront, sort of this card system here. And this card system pretty much works and pretty much adds cards as you go along here. So you'll see that it has some baseball scores up, because one time I searched for the Red Sox, I asked what was the score of the Red Sox game, and was able to bring that up. And it brought up weather information as well too, and things like that. And it's going to be able to sort of relate everything that you do with your Google account. So if you're searching on your desktop, it's actually going to show up here on the Google Nexus tablet as well too, but some information that it can bring up to you, such as the baseball scores that I searched for. If I'm searching for directions, I'll actually bring it up here in the notification section, which I don't think I actually have a notification for it anymore, but it brings it up here to where it can show you sort of a quick way to get to directions and stuff like that, and other sort of information as well too, sort of kind of brings up right to the forefront to you. Now, like I said, it's not a Siri clone, but it's pretty cool to do a couple of things when you sort of do the voice activation and stuff like that. So we'll show you a couple of quick things that you can do. How tall is Yao Ming?
Yao Ming is 7 feet 6 inches tall.
How old is Paul Pierce?
Paul Pierce is 34 years old.
Give me directions to the closest McDonald's.
Getting directions.
So you see there with voice search, I said voice activation. Like with voice search, you can search for some pretty cool things. If it can't find a card for it, it pretty much brings it up in sort of a Google search, allows you to open up to the browser, which the default browser for this now is Google Chrome and Android 4.1. You don't have that junky internet browser that they had before. Google Chrome is a default one in here, and if you're using Google Chrome on other devices, you can sync with it as well too. So the syncing feature is there too, to bring tabs up from other devices, that Android devices that you're using. So it's pretty cool that they do have that available on there. Now, as far as gaming on here, it really does look good on here. You do have the 7-inch display in here that's 1280 by 800, so you do have an HD resolution on here, and the games look really sharp on it, especially games that are made for the processor, such as Shadowrun. Looks really good on here. You can see the graphical detail and stuff like that. It's pretty fun to play with. Some of the games do look a little stretched out, so they might not be made for this type of format. So some games don't look too well on it. It does run, but it runs well, but the graphics are a little bit blurry and stuff like that. So you notice some things with that as well. But also, you know, not just playing games, but looking at video as well too. You're gonna see that video content looks pretty good in here as well too. Looking at YouTube, you know, most of the video I look at is definitely on YouTube, and you can see stuff in HD and like that. And you're gonna get a pretty good quality coming from that as well too. Now it's a Wi-Fi only tablet, which they did have a 3G option. It'd be really nice to take this on the road and use some 3G data on here. And there isn't any expandable storage with it as well. It's really 8 or 16 gigabyte built-in option, so you're not able to do that. I think it does support USB mass storage, so if you want to plug in another storage device, I think there's pretty much a way to be able to do that. Not exactly sure, because you only really have one micro USB port here, so let's just micro USB to one device to a USB mass storage device that also has micro USB on the other end. That might be able to work. Other than that, you're pretty much stuck with the storage that you have on here. But you do have cloud-based storage as well too to use, such as Google Music. You can stream all your music through there as well. You have Dropbox and other things like that. Also stuff such as the Kingston Y drive. Check out our review on that. You have a wireless drive. You can put all your content on there and access it through the tablet and just stream that way too. So that's one cool thing you can definitely also check. Another important thing with using a tablet is actually reading with a tablet, and that's one of the things you're going to want to do with it. And reading books in there is comfortable to do because of sort of the format that it's in, which is this portrait format. It does feel comfortable to just read a book with one hand and such and just go along through here. You can either use playbooks, which is pretty cool, and you can also use Amazon and Amazon Kindle e-reader and stuff like that, other e-reader books that you might have on here. And you can use other programs you might use. You can use it on here, but for the most part it works pretty well on here. The two that I use is the Kindle e-reader and the Google Play books as well. Those are pretty much the main two that I use, and they work well on here. So you're going to be able to read, which is obviously an important thing when you're getting a tablet on here, especially if you're coming from sort of an e-reader or a Kindle Fire or something like that, and you're looking for something for a little bit more power. It's going to be really important for that. Now there's a front-facing camera on here. There isn't any rear-facing camera on here. The front-facing camera is pretty for web chat. It's okay. I really didn't use it too much when kind of chatting and stuff on there. Really depends on the usage. I'm not really a person that really uses a tablet to do sort of you know, web chat and stuff like that. I'd rather use like a laptop or something of that nature. But there's some people out there that might use that, and for that the camera is decent enough for that. You can use it if you want to. If you don't want to use it, really, you don't really need it. And rear-facing camera, let's be honest, they've never really been good on tablets, and you're not really going to take a picture with your tablet because you're just going to look really, really awkward going like this, or with a lot of people that use iPads, they kind of go like this with this big 9-inch display. I saw that at a recent game I went to, and it just looks really, really awkward. But overall, the Nexus 7 is one of the best tablets out there, especially for the price of $200. You get an extremely good value with it. You get Android with it, Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, which is really good to have on here, and you're going to get pretty much all the updates. So anytime they update something, you're pretty much going to get it right away. So if you get the next version of Android, which is this Jelly Bean, I'm pretty sure it's Key Lime Pie is the next one, to name it after dessert, you're going to be able to get that right on immediately. So that's pretty cool to have. If you're really tied into a lot of Google services, you're really going to like it on here. And it really, this is pretty much the first Android tablet that's stock that I found it to be really easy to use and really sort of I would say consumer friendly, enough to be too technical to really understand it. It's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. So like I said, really good tablet. I really enjoyed it. And if you're looking for something that's really powerful in the $200 price range for the 8 gigabyte, $250 for the 16 gigabyte, the Nexus 7 is something to definitely look at. So this is BWOne here from BWOne.com reminding you, subscribe to our YouTube page, connect with us on all our social networks. The link to those are in the description. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition.